Our enemies are desperate to stop us because they know that we are the only ones who can stop them, and they know it very strongly. And they're looking at the polls where, not me, but we are up by so much. They can't even believe it. But they're not coming after me. They're coming after you. I'm just standing in their way, and I always will stand in their way.
Incredible there. Even critics of the 45th president are stumped on the charges the Manhattan District Attorney's Office is reportedly considering bringing against Trump. Let's bring in famed attorney Alan Dershowitz. He was a professor at Harvard Law School for 50 years, 5 decades. He's also written 50 books. His latest new book, Get Trump. Welcome. And you've also admitted, Professor Dershowitz, that you're a liberal and you don't even, there you have it. You wrote that book long before all of this talk, and you've admitted that you're not a Trump supporter. You don't even plan on voting for Trump. So this has nothing to do with politics. This all has to do with legalities. What do you make of these charges?
Well, I have a constitutional right to vote against Trump for the 3rd time, and I don't want it to be taken away from me by Bragg or any other politicians who will do anything in their power to prevent him from running. I just want a fair application of the law. This is a terrible prosecution. After months and months and months and months of searching through every statute, giving immunity to every witness, come up with a mouse, and the mouse's name is Mickey. It's a Mickey Mouse prosecution. It bears no relationship to the law. It requires using a state statute and then extrapolating a federal statute onto it. They've admitted it's creative, and the criminal law is not supposed to be creative. You're supposed to be able to read it clearly and make a decision whether or not you're going to violate the law. No rational person would think that the activities involved here, paying a settlement and then being accused of a campaign contribution, when an important reason for the settlement obviously was to avoid embarrassment, to avoid problems with his family. That's not the basis for a criminal prosecution. But I have to tell you, even if he is indicted, he will be indicted. In New York, you can indict a ham sandwich. And in New York City, you can convict a ham sandwich because the jury pool is so unfair. But if he is indicted, even if he's convicted, he can run for president. There are only 3 criteria in the Constitution. Congress can't change. 3 criteria is 35. He's 35. The second criteria is he didn't fight in the Civil War, and I don't think it can be proved that he actually fought for the South in the Civil War. The third is the most troubling for him. He has to have been born in the United States. And after what he said about Barack Obama, lied about him not being born in the United States, might come back to haunt him because they were both born on islands outside of the United States. So Barack Obama was born in Hawaii, and Donald Trump was born on Long Island. So maybe there is a plausible claim that he wasn't born in the United States. Obviously, I'm joking. And those 3 criteria are clearly met, and he can run for president from prison. He could even serve as president from prison.
Wow.
So, Professor Dershowitz, I mean, you actually just stole my thunder there. I don't know if we had a Vulcan mind meld or something, because my question was going to be about the 3 criteria. And if in a court of law, intent is a crucial question, then let's surmise what is the intent here? Even if he were arrested, even if he were convicted, even if they managed to manufacture a felony out of a misdemeanor, so what? What difference does it make? He's lived here for 14 years. He's a natural-born citizen, and he's over the age of 35. So do you have any idea as to what's going on? Are these people just hostages to their own ideology? What is the intent, Professor? Do we have an idea?
Well, the intent is very clear: to get reelected. Remember that Letitia James, very nice person, who was the Attorney General of New York, campaigned for office on the ground getting Trump. That's why I had titled my book, Getting Trump, Get Trump. That's the goal, get Trump. And the same thing is with Bragg. Bragg will do anything. Remember that the U.S. Attorney Office turned down prosecution, Justice Department turned down prosecution for this very thing. But Bragg feels that, and Bragg's office, his predecessor, turned down prosecution, but he's decided to become creative. He knows in the end he won't win this. No court of appeals would affirm the application of an arguable misdemeanor statute, turning it into a felony by invoking federal law in a state case. I mean, you know, I taught criminal law for 50 years. If any student tried to write that on an exam, I'd tell them they're in the wrong profession. And I think that District Attorney Bragg is in the wrong profession. Well, he's in the right profession. He's a politician. He's in the wrong profession, being a law enforcement official. You know, it was Justice Jackson, who was a great Attorney General of the United States, who once said, any prosecutor can rummage through the statute books in search of something to blame anybody for. And that's not the way justice should work. You shouldn't be focusing on a person and then searching for the crime. You should be focusing on the crime, and once the crime has been committed, searching for the person. This is a perversion of justice, and it affects all Americans. Today it's used by Democrats against Republicans. Tomorrow it can be used by Republicans against Democrats. This is not a partisan issue. This is an issue of trying to destroy the Constitution in the interest of getting Trump.
It does seem very Stalin-esque. Thank you so much, Professor Dershowitz.